Aloha and welcome, Jan Wakefield here. I just wanted to go over the channeling session disclaimer and agreement. So first of all, I want to thank you for participating in a channeling session, whether it's private or public. I'm grateful that you're here. Please read and acknowledge this disclaimer before proceeding. Please understand the nature of services. The information provided during channeling sessions is for educational, spiritual, and entertainment purposes only. These services are not intended to replace professional medical, psychological, financial, legal, or other licensed advice. The scope of services includes insights, guidance, and information received during the sessions are to be considered spiritual and metaphysical in nature. Sessions may explore personal growth, spiritual development, and general life guidance. Information shared is not predictive and should not be taken as absolute truth. You maintain full responsibility for your own decisions and actions. Some important limitations. The practitioner, me, I do not diagnose, treat, or cure any medical condition. I cannot prescribe medications or advise about changing existing medications. I do not provide mental health therapy or counseling. I do not offer financial or investment advice. I do not provide legal counsel, and I cannot guarantee specific outcomes or results. Your responsibilities here are the following. By participating in a channeling session, you acknowledge that you are 18 years of age or older. You understand that this is not a substitute for professional services. You maintain full responsibility for your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. You will seek appropriate professional help for medical, psychological, financial, or legal concerns. You exercise your own judgment in applying any information received. Medical and mental health notice. If you are experiencing medical or mental health issues, consult qualified healthcare professionals. Maintain your prescribed treatments and medications. Do not delay or discontinue professional medical care. Treat channeling sessions and channeled healing sessions as complementary to, not replacements for, professional care. Your agreement. By proceeding with the session, you acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agreed to the terms and limitations. Your participation indicates acceptance of these terms and understanding of the non-professional nature of channeling services. Thank you. Thank you all again for being here. It's such a beautiful day here in Hawaii. You can see the image of it behind me. That is not out my window. That actually is a photograph, but that is the island where I live, and it is that pretty. So it's August 26th. We're at 7 a.m. Hawaii time, and there'll be about an hour of question and answer today. So thanks again for being here. And if you have any additional questions that you didn't put into the chat space and Telegram, go ahead and put it here in this chat space. And we have someone monitoring it, the chat, so your question will be put into the queue. And if we have time, we'll do it today. All right. Let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes. The usual thing we start with is just checking in with your breath, checking in with your body, and doing a little body scan. So breathe at your natural pace. Notice what's going on in your body. It could be something as mundane as your stomach is growling because you are hungry, or maybe tap into the more subtle cues. How are your facial muscles doing right now? Are they tight? How is your neck, your shoulders, your arms? Check in with your torso, including your organs. The hips and legs and feet. And once you get a baseline of your body, check in with your thoughts. What's happening today? For some of you, it's end of day. Maybe you've had a busy day, lots of thoughts are going through your mind. And for some of you, it's earlier in the day, maybe the morning. And you're already planning in your thoughts. Just be aware of those things and use the breath as you breathe in. Breathe some space into the tension in your body, space into those thoughts. And relax your arms. Place your hands on your lap. And for some of you, I can actually hear your thoughts. And know that all communications are welcome. Saying hello directly back to you, Derek, and sending you just as much love. The blue healers have arrived in the space, as have the violet beings arrived in the space. The Pleiadians are in the space. The reptilians, the avian, the mantis, the 12th dimensional beings, and there is the energy of a Native American tribe from the United States in the space. For those of you who are already familiar with your starseed origins and would like to grant them access to your space, you may do so at this time using your mind. If at any time you wish to have extra dimensional beings move out of your space, simply ask them. The law of the universe is that you have choice, that you can decide who gets to be in your energy field. And the beings here today are all very deeply respectful of your space. They are here to assist only, to offer help with answering questions. And for some of you, the beings are here expressly for your healing. The violet people in particular, and the blue healers, are healers by nature. And our role here is to remind you of coherence within you, that the state of coherence within you is that which brings you closest to the optimum level of healing in you. And remember that healing within you is your choice. The beliefs that you have around your health are your choice. And for those of you with challenges of the mind, where you doubt your ability to completely heal yourself, that is also your choice. In every moment, humans have the choice to argue and fight with the mind, with opportunities, with decisions that are made. And they also have the choice to choose wellness and choose positivity. Nobody on your planet is here to fix or change anyone. You are all here only for your own personal experience, your own evolution. And as you grow and change within yourself, as you become more coherent in yourself, the natural course of things is that your vibrational energy will impact those around you. Anger, frustration, a lack of coherence, violence of any kind on your planet is a sign that the individual from which it is coming is out of balance, is out of coherence. When a human is out of coherence, their negative or lower vibrational frequency of fear, of hate, creates the same in others. Like attracts like. And so, if you are ranting about trying to push your agenda on another, that vibrational frequency will only bring the same. There is never an experience in the human world where anger and violence will beget love. There is never an experience in the human world where a human who tries to use their words with anything other than pure love, kindness, softness, and gentleness. There is never a time where anger or pressure of any kind in your voice, in your tone, will bring about love in the other person. We assure you that the goal on your planet and for each of you is to come into a place of love. Love each other. Love each other with kindness. Love each other with gentleness. Love each other with a passion that is so fierce that only love can win. Anytime you tell yourself anything other than that, you are living in your own ego state. You are needing to turn yourself inward, to look at the thoughts in your mind, to look at the thoughts in your heart, to look at the ways you express yourself and understand that the limitation is only within you. Your voice will only change others through kindness, through gentleness, through love and compassion. If there is ever tension in your voice, it is about you. And so, begin with the breath practice of the heart. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Now reverse in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release back to front and up to 8. In 6 and 5 to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in 6 and 5 to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at once. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5. Do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at once. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5. Do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at once. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in through 8, through 6 and 5 to 1. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 2. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 3. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in 6 and 5 to 5. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6. Release back to front and up to 8. Breathe in 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. And resume your natural breathing. Scan your body once again, noticing the space you have created. Now continue with any breath cycle that feels right to you today. And we have a message for you for the month ahead. September is a month of transition. The beginning of the month may be very slow. It may feel as if things are brewing, as if things are expanding. And toward the middle of the month, momentum will pick up. that toward the end of the month and extending out to the end of the year, big changes will begin to occur. The work you have done thus far this year is now coming to a state of blossoming within you, of blossoming in your external world. Many of you have a focus of abundance, of manifestation, of creation. The next 2 to 3 weeks begin to, in earnest, write down, draw, create, or in some way decide what it is that you wish to produce, to create, to manifest in the latter part of this year. So, this means that you need to use your meditation time, your breath practice, as a way of alleviating tension around anything that limits you from having exactly what you want in your life. And as you begin to release the tension in your meditations, in your breath practice, around the limitations you perceive that prevent you from having the things or the life that you want, make sure that as you emerge from your meditations, from your breath practice, that you take the few moments of coherence that you are maintaining from your practice to write down in a creative way that which you want to have in your life in the next few months. Make sure that these items are in a place that you can see every day. In other words, remind yourself of the coherent feeling you have just one moment prior to writing down what you wish to manifest. This practice you can do repeatedly. You will find that mid to late September is where you need to take action. Begin to take steps toward that which you want. If your interest is in changing the location where you live, begin your search mid-September and begin to put things in place. Pack boxes, store things, sell things, apply for jobs. Whatever it is you need to do, put it into action the 2nd to 3rd week of September. Give yourself deadlines for producing and completing tasks. Give yourself clear instructions each day and follow through with these instructions that you make for yourself. It is a balance of effort and surrender. You may find that it becomes a struggle. When that occurs, stop what you are doing, go back to your meditation, create a sense of space within yourself through the breath practice, and repeat or return to the tasks in front of you. If there is repeated struggle, more than 3 to 4 days in a row, more than 3 to 4 tasks in a row, where it feels like a struggle, you are on the wrong path. Change direction. It may be only a slight tweak in what you are doing. Always come back to coherence in your heart. Always come back to creating space with your breath practice. And if other people are involved in what you wish to manifest, keep in mind that you cannot manipulate or change others, even in the energy world. That will set you on the wrong course. The only person you have any influence over is yourself. And keep remembering that, even if you are a parent, even if you are in a family, even if you are in a job situation, it is impossible for you to effect change on anyone else using 3D methods. even using the idea or concept of 3D methods in your meditations or your breath practices. Your aim is never to try to change the outside world. It is simply to bring into your heart more space, more coherence, and an intention that comes from that space that is solely focused on you. As September ends and the next month begins, you may find that you are on a little bit of a ride where you are floating downstream and the waters may become a little bit more exciting. Stay the course. Stay focused on what you want. Stay focused on the coherence in your heart. Stay focused on creating space within you using your breath. And things will unfold for you. If by the end of the year you find that your life has completely changed, approach this with love, with kindness, with excitement, with a sense of curiosity. In fact, approaching everything in your life with a sense of curiosity would be our highest recommendation. The moment you are in fear, the moment your body begins to tense up, breathe again into curiosity, coherence, love, and space within to reset yourself and put yourself back on track. And now take 3 deep cleansing breaths at your own pace. And during these breaths, think about one thing you would like to have in your life within the next 7 days. What does that feel like for you? Is there tension in your body around the inability to have what you want? Breathe into that tension, offering it space, and thinking of the thing that you want, the experience that you want. Breathe deeply into the belly. Tip the chin up and the head back slightly. Hold your breath in. And with your exhale, breathe out through 5. Breathe in deeply and hold. Head back, exhale through 5. Breathe in deeply. Exhale through 5. And resume your natural breathing. Remember that energy center 5 is associated with manifestation. It needs to be in coherence with 6 and 4. And when you are ready, we will begin with your first question.
Question from Tatiana. Dear Blue Beings, I love traveling and exploring the world. However, I am aware that, for example, flying to Mexico for a retreat contributes to air pollution. On one hand, we meditate for abundance, yet on the other, an abundant lifestyle often goes hand in hand with greater environmental impact and harm to Mother Earth. What kind of advice can you give us to align abundance with sustainability? With love, Tatiana.
We thank you for this very interesting question and would like to illuminate for you a few pieces of information from the Earth herself. Your Earth is a living being with a voice, and her voice is simply saying this: thoughts that you have that restrict you from being in coherence are directly related to the symbiotic relationship you have with your planet. If you are an individual with a high level of or ability to come into a state of coherence, and you have these thoughts, your fears, your projections of how you believe your Earth feels, how you believe your Earth is reacting to whatever humankind is doing, that is about you. That is not about your Earth. And so, where is it in your heart, for each of you as individuals, that you project your own sadness, your own fear, your own inability to be in coherence in the moment onto other things around you? Your beliefs around your Earth are very interesting and completely untrue for the Earth itself. Some of you in your minds, and we can hear you, are in a state of disbelief. You are then arguing out loud in your minds to say, does that mean we can do whatever we want to the Earth without repercussion? That is not the conversation you want to have inside yourself. Instead, envision this. You, as an individual, are in a symbiotic relationship with everything in your world because you are simply one energy thread within the energy makeup of all things in the universe. What you believe, what you perceive, is about you and your 3D form. And instead of arguing with your mind and making it very loud in the spaces where others can hear your mind, instead turn your focus inward toward coherence. And ask yourself, why am I afraid of flying? Why am I afraid of the natural world? Why am I afraid of the things that humanity has created? Why am I afraid that the earth will somehow punish us for whatever it is we are doing or believe we are doing to her? We assure you that if the earth felt that she was out of balance with humanity, she would right herself immediately. The Earth is a far greater amount of mass in 3D than humanity combined, than humanity's thoughts and actions combined, than humanity's interest in getting into mischief combined. There is not a force on your planet that is greater than the Earth energies combined. So, why is it that you are projecting some idea that we are somehow, we, meaning humanity, that humanity is somehow harming the earth? You only harm yourself. Does this mean that you can be rampant in incoherence, rampant in hatred, rampant in the expression of the need to somehow control, live in fear, live in survival for all eternity? Your responsibility is only to your heart, to being in a state of coherence, and to breathing more space into the tension in your body that limits you from being in a state of love and coherence in every moment. And so we ask you, why are you afraid of stepping into a space of vast possibility and total coherence at a retreat, at a meditation retreat, in a breath practice? Why would you limit yourself from being there? Why would you perpetuate the story of fear of getting there? Why would you even have the conversation of fossil fuel use, of pollution? Does that bring you into a state of coherence or the opposite? This is a conversation you need to have with your own heart. Perhaps it is that the mass of the earth is vastly capable of transmuting and transforming the exhaust from one aircraft, from every aircraft on your planet, without giving it so much as a tiny thought. Your Earth is capable of much more than you could ever imagine. And she also is here in a symbiotic relationship with all of you. Does she want you to live in fear? She does not. Does she want you to live in hatred? She does not. Does she want you to pretend to be her savior? She does not. Any time you present yourself in the human form as a savior, you will eventually be the victim. You will eventually be the opposite of the savior. You need to find a way out of these conversations in your own minds. You do not save your earth. She is okay to be within herself. Her energy is pure love. Her energy is pure coherence. She is a representative guide for you in love and coherence. This is why when you go outside in nature on your earth, you come into greater coherence. It is something she is giving you all the time. Even if you are in the ugliest, the most polluted building, the most polluted country, the most polluted experience of humanity in your mind, your earth is always there to represent love and coherence. It is simply what she is made of. There is a lot of activation amongst the 5D beings, the extra-dimensional beings. At this question, there is a lot of conversation happening in the unseen world. They are truly fascinated by this idea that a human would think that somehow they can save the earth. The collective of humanity could only come into a state of coherence. That would be what your Earth would perceive as being in a symbiotic relationship of positive love and coherence. Not one of you can make this change. It will require all of you. And so, how can you, as an individual, impact the whole? It is through coherence, bringing the heart into a state of coherence. Focus on the heart in a state of coherence. We and the other dimensional beings are ready for your next question.
Question from Rashin. Dear Blue Healers, now it has happened a couple of times. After meditation, I see geometric patterns that turn to flowers and then cartoons, animation show up. I found this very interesting. What is the meaning of cartoons in such a context? Thank you.
How very fun is this question? The human mind is a representation of the human body, the human experiences, and the gravity of information within the cells that makes you, you. As you, meaning any human, begins to come into a state of coherence in the heart, begins to understand the true nature of all things, begins to communicate in oneness with the extra-dimensional beings through the breath practice, you may begin to see in your mind's eye the construct of geometric patterns all around you. This is what extra-dimensional beings see in general. It is part of removing yourself from 3D reality, at least temporarily, so that you can see the world around you as it truly is. Patterns and frequencies of energy. That is the next step for you. Consider that your mind also wishes to do a little dance with the experience of energy, the experience of being free from the 3D world, because the mind is not exactly part of the extra-dimensional planes of existence. The mind is a construct of the 3D reality. And so it wishes to play and dance with the experiences you are having as well. So, whatever it is you have in your mind may come to the forefront of what you call the screen of or the movie of your experience of 3D. And it will throw through the projector of your mind something that is connected to your experience of 5D. Perhaps it is a memory of your childhood when you were still able to transfer your energy from 3D to 5D to live in a state of coherence in the heart. And so, maybe over the course of time, whatever images attached to that experience of you living between 3D and 5D are coming together and projecting in your mind as you are slipping between the worlds. How interesting and fun it should be for you. For those who maybe experience frightful images in your mind, as this experience evolves within you, leaving the 3D reality and experiencing other dimensions, do not allow fear to pull you back to 3D too quickly. Simply examine what you are seeing, make connections within yourself as to why fear would arise in that moment, Breathe space into the images you are experiencing in your mind. Go back to the breath practice and remind yourself that you are in a safe place, that there are many stories in the 3D world that have told you over the years that if you are not experiencing 3D wholly and completely, that if you are experiencing other dimensions, it is bad or it is wrong. Those stories will need to be dissolved and need to come into coherence within your heart so that you can experience more of the unseen world in a way that feels authentic, that feels loving, that feels connected, that feels like it is in a state of coherence with your 3D existence. This should be a fun process and journey for you. See everything as a state of joy and fun and curiosity, and these transitions will become easier for you as you continue the practice. We will take your next question.
Thank you. Question from Lisa. Dear Blues, can you please expand on the teaching about Energy Center 5, the one brought up by the seven-dimensional beings, the new gateway of communication that is emerging between 5 and 6? We were taught breath work, and I would like to have a deeper understanding about that energy center. Thank you.
We thank you for asking this question because this information has already been addressed momentarily earlier in this session. So your energy centers as you perceive them, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 are your anchors in your 3D experience. There are myriad energy centers in the human body that connect the nervous system of your individual human experience out into the world around you, out into the universe, out into the quantum information of all things. For many of you in the 3D experience, you seek more coherence in your heart, more connection, more ability to leave your physical 3D realm and dance or play or travel or communicate within the other dimensions. The sensory perceptions of the basic 8 energy centers that connect humanity to itself, that connect you to all 3D experiences, is such a unique one to you and your world. So it would be an important thing for you to sit for a moment in your meditation and tap into the vibrational frequency of each of those 8 energy centers. They each have a pattern within you that is unique to you. It is a vibrational signature that you have with your world. It is why you look different from all other beings on your planet. It is why you experience your world differently, because these energy centers that form for you specifically to create a symbiotic relationship for you with all 3D representations, including the Earth itself and your solar system and your universe, are unique to you. So tap into some time or right now into how it feels to be in 8, in 7, in 6, and so on. In your breath, simply breathe in to the energy center, expand it wide enough for you to sit inside. And then resume natural breathing with the intention to sit in that energy center and feel it around you. What does it feel like to be in 5? And so let us do this together. Close your eyes. Tap into your natural breathing. Breathe space into all the muscles that have decided to tense up since we first started this session. Bring love and joy and a little bit of levity to how quickly your body will tighten up. Breathe space there. And now adjust your body slightly so that your spine is in alignment. You are in a comfortable seated or reclined position. Use your intention if necessary. And now breathe deeply into energy center 5. Expand it wide around you. And with your intention, tell yourself to stay here as you resume your natural breathing. Focus on 5. If necessary, breathe in and out through 5. Your energy center is around you. Your eyes are closed. Look around. How does this energy center appear to you? Is it as if you are inside a bubble, where the edges of the energy center are a little bit elastic, maybe moist? Maybe they are the maybe the edges of your energy center have a color. Maybe the sphere around you has an odd shape. Maybe there are openings in this energy center sphere. Maybe thoughts go through your mind. Breathe into them and release them like butterflies. And now you are familiar with Energy Center 5 as it presents for you. The fifth dimensional beings, the violet people, have a request. As you are looking at the inside of the sphere of your energy center, if you notice there are areas of inconsistency or holes or tears or missing parts, take a moment with your breath to fill that in. Simply see it as light coming around your bubble, enclosing you in the beauty of your own fifth energy center. With each breath, allow your breath to expand from your body to the surface of the inside of your fifth energy center. In this way, you create love and coherence and wellness within your fifth energy center. And now that your fifth center is still wide around you, has been completely repaired, fill it with light using your breath. And now allow the orb around you to begin to contract slowly until it fits into your fifth energy center at the throat. You may need to tip your head back slightly. With your eyes closed, focus on the fifth energy center. Gentle breathing is fine. All of the energy centers have a way of communicating with the external world around you in 3D. This is shaped like a cone, and the tip of the cone goes in through the front of your throat and taps into the central nervous system of your body. The wider part of the cone faces outward from the front of your throat. And within that cone, there is a tiny spinning cycle of energy, counterclockwise or clockwise. When the energy is released from this energy center so that you can communicate with the world around you, it will be counterclockwise. As you draw information in, it will turn clockwise. Begin to visualize this in your mind. The energy center has a cone, clockwise and counterclockwise. You have the choice to turn that energy wheel either way with your intention. If you are tired, if you are in pain, if you are having pervasive thoughts, turn it counterclockwise. Release that energy and that tension. If you are depleted and need more energy, turn it clockwise. If you wish to manifest something, put the intention out there and turn it clockwise. The direct information flow from this cone, from the wheel of energy within, extends out from the throat to the energy sphere that surrounds your entire body. This is an orb or an aura that is with you at all times. It is your energy field that extends from the top of the head around out the width of your outstretched arms as a general guideline, and below the feet back in through the first energy center. And so the energy field that surrounds your body is now connected to energy center 5 with intention. You are sending information out, pulling information in. It goes into the general flow of the sphere of energy around your body. You are contained in this space when you communicate with your energy field in this way. This same information is true for each of the energy centers from 7 to 1 in the human body, a cone with an energy wheel that turns clockwise or counterclockwise. It communicates directly with the overall energy field of the human body, your human body. And now that you can feel this information, we will explain a little further. The heart breath that we do with you, in through 6 and 5 to 4, release front to back and up to 8. Now you understand that it is releasing through the energy center in a counterclockwise spiral. It releases out to the sphere of energy of your own making, and it circles around to the back and up to 8. When you do the reverse practice, where you breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, you release back to front and up to 8, you are cleansing the energy system in a specific way using the breath. The energy cone for the majority of the energy centers is singular. It will simply flip from front to back. It is the same premise, it is just used a little differently. And please keep in mind, this is an extremely simplified version of the complexity of energy as it moves. Focus only on the simple part of the discussion, please. When the energy center flips to the other side, to the back, and you release the breath from back to front and up to 8, the cone that flips will circulate the energy in a counterclockwise fashion, releasing back to front and up to 8. The 5th energy center is more complex, and it is true that the human is evolving for all the energy centers from 7 to 1 to have the same mechanism. That means the 5th energy center for the majority of humans has a second cone. They can be within one another, or they can face opposite, front to back, where the points meet in the middle at the nervous system of your human body. And so the 5th energy center can work front to back and back to front simultaneously. We have introduced and explained this breath practice many months ago. However, we stopped articulating the words because it happens naturally when you do the breath from 6 and 5 to 5. You release front to back. Automatically, the energy center does both, back to front and front to back. Because it is a natural occurrence, we decided to stop mentioning it to you because it would happen anyway. Because the question came up today, we are explaining to you how it happens. You can use your intention to do so at any time with the breath practice. You also can ask the cones to be within one another, nested within one another, facing one direction or the other, where the energy center will release energy and draw energy in at the same time. This energy center works with all of the others. One of them will work with 7, with 8, 7, 6, and 5 at the same time, while the other works with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the same time. So the energy in a spiral could go from 8 to 5 and 1 to 5 simultaneously, And the cones, the energy release in the cones of energy center 5 will process energy from the earth and energy from the universe simultaneously. Congratulations, you now understand how manifestation works in the human body. It is driven by the fifth energy center, where the energy of the cosmos, the energy of the infinite, the energy of the universe comes in from 8, 7, and 6 to 5, and the energy of the earth, where you wish to manifest something tangible in your hands, tangible in your mind, in your relationship to yourself or others, from the earth up through 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5. And so when you are working on any manifestation process, you will bring the brain and the heart and the belly into coherence. But the communication itself and the receiving of that vibrational frequency happens in 5. The only way to manifest anything in the 3D world is through these energy centers. The more you can bring all of them into coherence, 8 to 1, 1 to 8, will bring about greater and more rapid results. Also understand the energy centers are not just about manifestation. They are communication centers for you. So when you are having faulty communication, perhaps you can ask energy centers other than 6, 5, and 4 to assist with how to process information coming in and information being released. Play around with that for some time. Come back to us with more questions for clarification at another day. There is so much more information we can give you about your energy centers, about your ability to create what you want in the 3D world, your ability to instantly transmute energies, including substances, in you and around you. So add some of those questions as they arise to the list so we can assist you with creating a body of information and education to release to humanity. We will take your next question.
We are past the time. Would you like to take one more question or we wrap up the session?
We will take one additional question.
Question from Raisa. Dear Blue Healers, I see a pink purple energy when I lie in bed at night. Mostly I fall asleep and wake up after a few minutes. Sometimes I see the energy hovering above me. Sometimes it's the shape of a being standing next to me. Both times the energy moves over my body and removes blockages, and I feel better afterwards. Can you tell me more about this?
This is a childlike energy, meaning it has the vibrational frequency of innocence to it, which is a wonderful way you may describe angels in your world. This is where the angel images come from. This being is assisting you because you are part of it and it is part of you. It is your counterpoint in another dimension. And it is also the source from which your babies have been coming to you in the many lifetimes you have experienced as a parent. The information it has and the assistance it brings is something that you can have a dialogue with. Reach out to this being so that you can gain more information about how the two of you are connected. Again, it is part of you and you are part of it. The form is undetermined because this dimensional being has only wishes to reveal itself to you. This is an acknowledgement on your part of your connection to some origin information and the purpose you have on your planet in this lifetime. And the process of discovery for each of you in connecting with extra-dimensional beings is part of your evolutionary process of your energy coming into coherence wholly and completely, eventually, with universal energies of the quantum field. So ask questions of this being, trust the answers that you receive, choose to have a conversation, allow the dialogue to be effortless and easy. If ever you hear silence, know that your question simply needs to be reworded, or that it is an answer you already know. This is all the information we are receiving at this time. Your exploratory process with your starseed origins and extra-dimensional beings should be something that you enjoy. Each of you have the ability to do this. The extra-dimensional beings in this space now recede. Each group is leaving. The vibrational frequency of the Native American tribe will reside with the individual who has called this tribe forth. The blue healers disconnect now from that group. The violet people recede from the space. We, the blue healers, are the only extra-dimensional beings who are connected to the channel at this time. We would like to say that so many of you are connected to your starseed origins. It is now a matter of trust in your heart and in your connection, in your own voice and in your own belief within yourself, of the possibilities of what you can do, what you can experience in the 3D world. Trust your heart when it is in a state of coherence, and trust that the thoughts that are pervasive, that plague you and bother you, it's simply information. Choose to embrace it with love, as if it's an old friend. Tell yourself that it is a visitor, a pervasive thought that feels painful, a pervasive feeling of depression. Embrace it as if it's an old friend who's feeling a little sad or who wants a little attention. Embrace it with love. Today was representative of the possibility of the many, many beings in the universe who wish to communicate with all of you, with your kind. It is our time to leave this space. We thank you again for bringing your heartfelt questions, your beautiful hearts, your abilities to trust within yourself, to bring love and coherence to yourself. In that state, you are most connected to yourself, to all living things on your planet, and to extra-dimensional species. Please, we ask you once again, bring your questions. We are so glad to answer them. And with love, we now leave the space. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. It's really a pleasure.
Oh, wonderful. Um, the spiraling counterclockwise and clockwise of the cones, is that looking at it from the body's point of view or looking at that from the external, like looking at the person?
Excellent question. 12, 6. So looking from the outside toward you.
Ah, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like a clock. Sorry. Like a clock.
Yeah, I got
12's
like a
12's
clock,
at the
but
top. Yeah.
looking at the person, because if you're in
Mhm.
your body and you're looking at the cone spiraling versus if you're
Ye-
outside of your body and looking at the cone spiraling.
Yep. Good question. You can't do it
So
wrong.
so it's looking from outside the body at the
Hmm.
body.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. It's like if you hang a clock around your neck and
Yes,
someone else is looking at it. Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
Great question. Great question. But they're actually saying right now it really doesn't matter because you
Oh,
can't do it
okay.
wrong.
Okay. I
Just
love that.
just know that this spin does it does both at the same time. Yeah.
I'm so visual. It really helps.
It really does. I agree.
Thank you.
So for those of you, you're welcome. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that concept, when the word cone comes up, think of it like an ice cream cone that has a point at the bottom. I think most people, I would hope everyone in here has seen an ice cream cone like that. And it's round at the top, like that. And the round part is here, and the cone or the point part is in the central nervous system. And so each individual one, 7 goes this way, 1 goes down toward the earth, 5, 4. And it could be small and it could be massive around the body. So, this, if you think about the energy coming out from 5 in that cone, it'll extend out to, so 7 goes this way, right? Cool. And so it creates that orb around you. So your 7th energy center is the one that is creating your vibrational field around you that can be perceived as an aura. I've seen aura photos and things like that, which is generally your energy field. So when 7 comes out and around, all the ones from the front will then tap into that as well. So there's this constant flow of energy that happens in the human body, and it's part of the 3D experience. So when you are releasing, you're sending it this way. It's going to connect into 7, which 7 goes down into the earth and up into 8, technically. So that's where it goes. It throws energy into 8. So it says, hey, humanity, tapping in, and then into your earth, that symbiotic relationship. So that's the basic of it. And when you learn today that there's an inner, so 2 of them nested inside each other, they can either be front and back, or both to the front, or both to the back. And the same is true here, here, cone entrance there. And they're very clear that the heart breath itself, when you're doing it in reverse through 6 and 5 to 4, going back to front, that's where you're doing cleansing. So if you ever have that sensation of, I picked stuff up from other people, that's the breath you want to do. But breathe in through 6 and 5 and fill up 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at once. Back to front, up to 8. That's where you cleanse the energy field of that kind of stuff. When people say, I'm picking up stuff from other people. So that's the place to begin. also breathing in. Remember, we do 8 to 1. So today they did the heart breath, interval with the spiral breath, which I thought was really fascinating. If you didn't notice the difference, try doing it again. Because what they were essentially doing is there was somebody in the space who needed clearing for a health condition, and that was how they were doing it. They were allowing the breath from front to back and up to 8, or back to front and up to 8, and then spiral down, spiral up. So creating that vortex of energy from the 8th energy center in through the body and out, clearing back to front. So that was pretty powerful. Be curious to see what the results are for all of you. There was one additional thing I wanted to clarify, and that was the question about the earth. It's very vague in my mind. I think it was one of the earlier questions about our carbon footprint, to put it very simply. And I was fascinated by the answer. Not sure if all of you were fascinated as well. Is that the earth is in a symbiotic relationship with all living things on it. And that for us to be caught up in the story creates tension in the body. And the moment we create tension in the body or in the mind, becoming causal, trying to change the outside world with force. So 3D, trying to change 3D, then you're no longer in brain and heart coherence. So it's very simple. Does that mean you should stop recycling? Totally your choice. Does it bring you into a state of coherence? I think is what they would say. And do the things that feel like they give you that love and expansion in your heart. And if your choices in every moment are what brings me love and coherence is to say no to getting on an airplane, that's okay too. So it's only for you to know within yourself, where do I feel coherence in every moment? And those choices will mean that you are following, you're in the flow. You're in the flow of your life. So I think that's a pretty beautiful explanation. So thanks to all of you. That was a wonderful question. I was really surprised by their answer. And I hope that you all enjoyed the session today. So sending you off with tons of love. I understand that Jan Wakefield and Jan Wakefield Professional Healer, DBA, Jan Wakefield Awakened, will own the copyrights to the recordings and all materials created or distributed in connection with these channelings, sessions, and workshops, and that no personal recording devices or cameras are permitted inside the channelings, sessions, or workshops. Any reproduction or distribution of any such materials to third parties without the express written consent of Jan Wakefield is prohibited. I hereby grant Jan Wakefield and Jan Wakefield Professional Healer, DBA, Jan Wakefield Awaken, the right to reproduce in any manner whatsoever, without compensation, any recording of my presence during this channeling, session, or workshop. I assume full responsibility for my reception, use, and results from the materials connected with this in any way. Channeling, sessions, and workshops. I assume full responsibility for my reception and use of and results from the materials connected in any way with this channeling, session, or workshop. And I understand that Jan Wakefield and Jan Wakefield Professional Healer, DBA Jan Wakefield Awaken, is responsible only for the orderly presentation of the channelings, sessions, and workshops, and that I am voluntarily responsible for my own participation in channeling, sessions, and workshops, and for my own well-being. I hereby acknowledge, and I have read the channeling, sessions, and workshops guidelines fully. I understand them. And by attending a Jan Wakefield channeling session or workshop, I agree to be bound by their terms and conditions. I certify that I am 18 years of age or older, and I accept the channeling, sessions, and workshop guidelines at my own free will.